What's up, man? I want to talk to y'all about this whole voting situation, man. And us as African Americans, our vote doesn't mean anything. It's not mean. It's not. Nothing is happening by voting, and especially since Black people been voting for like the last 60 years, voting Democrat. I think it's like 90, close to 90 some percent of African Americans vote Democrat, and to me, there's no fruits of the labor of the vote. Where are the fruits of the vote? We're still asking to be treated right in the judicial system, in the law, under the law, in the court system. We're still asking for better schools, public schools, because public schools are ran by, are paid for by the taxpayers, which the government controls the taxes, the tax money. The tax money goes to the government. The government disperses it out to like the school, the public schools, or the fire department, or the police department, or things of that nature. So we're not being, we have bad schools in the neighborhoods. Our neighborhoods are ran down. We're still asking. We're just asking. We're still asking to go to the bank if we're qualified to get a bank loan. Not being, you know, you know, put through 1,000 loops just to get a bank loan, even though we're qualified to get a bank loan. We're still asking. And why are we still asking for these things if the vote that we're putting, with the Democrats is actually working? You know, this past election cycle, between Trump and Biden, you had people coming out, vote, vote, vote. Your vote really means something. LeBron James with the vote or die shirt. And I told y'all, with that vote or die shirt, that was a toxic thing. Because what? So, are you, like I said in that video, are you telling me, Mr. LeBron James, are you telling me that under the Democratic president that Black people were not killed unlawfully by the police officers? Because what that tells me is only one political party is responsible for that type of thing happening, and we all know that's not true. Because the Democrats with Joe Biden and the woman that you was on stage with 8 years ago, Hillary Clinton, they were all involved in the signing of that criminal bill that sent a lot of Black men having longer sentences for crimes, apart from their counterparts to the white people having the same crimes, but the Black people having longer sentences. Joe Biden had to apologize for it, the crime bill, but yet that's who you choose to be on stage with in Ohio. When she was campaigning against Trump, and now you put a vote or die on a T-shirt and say, "Hey, vote." Everybody is so proud of LeBron James. Get out the vote. Get out the vote. The vote is not doing anything for us. What Black people need to start doing is holding their vote as a block. Hold your vote. Because right now we make up about 12% of the population, maybe less. But our vote means something as a block, as a whole, because usually the presidential race is won by 3 to 4 to 5 percentage points, right? We make up about 6% percentage points of voting. Now we can sway the vote Democrat or Republican, even though we're not the larger block, but we can sway the vote. Until we need to hold our votes, let these political parties, let everybody else vote, and let one of these political parties either lose a couple of presidential cycles, like the Republicans lose 2 times in a row, or the Democrats lose 2 times, or whatever, and then they say, wow, we really need that African American vote. And then we have a list, because let's just sit out and let's have a list of demands that we need to be done for you to get our vote from here on out. We need better schools. We need treated right in the judicial system, under the law. When we go to court, the Black people need to stop having longer sentences than their counterparts. We need to be able to get a bank loan if we qualify, not to go through 1,000 and 50,000 loop. You know what I'm saying? Hula hoops just to get a bank loan. Because a lot of people out there, a lot of hardworking black people out there that work hard, and they should be able to get that loan if they qualify for that loan, just like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And there's other countless of demands that we need to start putting forth. Sit out. That's why, see, black people as a whole, we don't collectively hold our vote. We don't collectively have our block of vote, and people having to respect our vote, because Democrats have been taking our votes for granted for 60 years. What have they gave us that's substantial enough that you can say, well, man, they gave us this, they gave us that? No, I don't see it. I don't see it. The neighborhoods are ran down. The school system is flawed. We're still going to jail. I think that crime bill that they signed is still in effect, and largely still in effect. I bet you it's still a lot of things that are still in effect. So we just have a lot of things that we need to come to the table with, but we need to hold our vote. You don't need to listen to these, because look, this is what the Democratic Party does, and the Republican Party does it too. But to the larger extent, the Democratic Party has been doing it for years and years and years. They'll bring out these actors, these entertainers, and say, hey, vote. Like this year, it was LeBron James with the Vote or Die shirt. So getting everybody all antsy and thinking like, man, if we don't get Trump out of office, we're going to die. You know, dramatic stuff. They bring out these stars, these athletes. First of all, black people need to stop looking up to these athletes to be leaders. Just stop it. They are great athletes. Not saying that they are not smart or they don't know anything about politics, but they should not be the leaders. The leaders should come from the grassroots, and that means the neighborhoods from which we need the problem solved. That's where the leaders need to come from. Yes, LeBron James and them, they grew up in the same environment I grew up in, but LeBron James has not been in that environment for 20 some odd years. A lot of these stars, a lot of these actors, they haven't been in that environment for a long time. Not saying that they shouldn't have a voice, but they should not be leading the charge, because they are under these corporations. I don't know what these corporations agendas are. I don't know what Nike agenda is that LeBron James is under. I don't know what Paramount Pictures and all this stuff is, with all these actors. I don't know what their agenda is. You need something that's grassroots, that doesn't have an agenda behind them or a machine behind them, funding them. We need someone that's going to be we need people that's from the grassroots, you know what I'm saying, that are going to come up and lead the way. But like I said, we need to start holding our vote. Period, point blank. Black people as a whole, we need to start holding our vote until we start getting some solutions to these problems. Plain and simple. We need to stop complaining. Let's stop complaining and actually show action. Let's stop complaining. Let's stop complaining about not getting this, and that, and start action. The complaining time is long been over. It's long been overdue. Generations ago, a couple generations ago. It's been long overdue. Because all we doing is complaining, and then it goes to the next generation and they start complaining because, hey, the generation before me was complaining. So the complaints have to stop somewhere, and we need to start having solutions. Hold your vote. We need to, as a block, we need to hold our vote. You have people like Stephen A. Smith say, oh, you should vote because they fought for us to vote in the 60s and the 50s. Yes, they fought for us to vote in the 50s and the 60s. That doesn't mean they fought for you to vote for anybody that's not going to give you what you need out of the vote. You should not vote for any party that's not in your best interest, that doesn't have your best interest, is not showing any type of progress, showing you any type of progress for your vote. Then otherwise, you're just wasting your vote. I'm not here to waste my vote. And I've been largely to the, voting Democrat. I vote Democrat every time. So I'm not out of this party voting 95%. I'm part of the problem, but no longer going to be part of the problem. We need to, as a block of people, start holding the vote. Let these parties feel the pain of not having our vote, because our vote does mean something, even though we're only 12%. Like I said, if you look at a lot of these presidential races, when someone wins, they win by like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 percentage points a lot of the times. And our vote does matter. But it only matters if you're going to get something out of it. Plain and simple. I'm out.